Hello, this is Epic Adventure Corps, and I am reviewing Iron Man 3.
I'm gonna offer a choice.
Do you want an empty life or a meaningful death?
You're not a man. You're nothing more than a maniac. I'm not afraid of you. No politics here. Just good old-fashioned revenge.
Reviewing Iron Man 3. Now, there are a few things I have to talk about before I start really reviewing this. One, I liked this movie. This movie is a lot of fun. Two, I love Robert Downey Jr. He's a great actor. I loved his work in Charlie Chaplin. I think, is it just called Chaplin? I forget. Sorry, inaccuracy. His Charlie Chaplin movie. He's a great actor. I was just saying he was. And in Sherlock Holmes, obviously. Now, in 3, I love Iron Man. I love the idea. He's a great superhero. I like how he's different than other superheroes. Okay, now to really start reviewing. So, I want to talk about trilogies. So Iron Man 2, they didn't love it. So most people didn't love it. And it was really, I didn't think it added anything to the trilogy. Now, this kind of did. It got kind of a different side of Iron Man. It kind of got him showing, some tiredness. He's gotten more of, he's more involved, builds suits all day, can't sleep. And I wish they kind of played on that theme more. Maybe he was like more machine than man. Star Wars ripoff, maybe? I don't know. But they could have played it something like that. And finding his humanity again. And it definitely wasn't as much like full circle kind of thing where trilogies kind of feel like each installment adds this new thing. So yeah, everyone knows how much I like the Dark Knight trilogy if you watch my Man of Steel expectations, but for example, the Star Wars trilogy, so old original trilogy, that's the better trilogy. So you start with episode 4, and he's this kind of kid, and it's this innocent sort of story. Then it goes to Empire Strikes Back, a lot darker, a lot, revealed. The story suddenly gets more complex. It's not as easy. And then the third one, Return of the Jedi, the 6th episode, it's the conclusion where they pull everything together. They pull all of the themes together. And, I mean, I guess Star Wars is one theme, but that kind of pulls, but it still has some sort of thing with other trilogies. Like, I'm now going to talk about the Dark Knight trilogy. Dark Knight trilogy, it starts out, kind of fun. Batman Begins, him finding himself, kind of like Luke did in episode 4. And then in Dark Knight, not sweet at all. It's a incredibly dark story, and, it's kind of the part where the harsh parts happen. There's a lot of darkness in Gotham, a lot of bleak. It gives people a bleak feel of Gotham, even more than in Batman Begins. And then finally in Dark Knight Rises, it pulls everything together, the things from the first movie, and then things from the fifth movie. The second movie. I'm sorry, I'm thinking Star Wars again. The second movie, you know, it's just a sequel from that, but it pulls themes back and kind of shows, we've changed so much, but we're still there. Once again, Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. It's about the beginning of the quest for innocent the Fellowship. Second one, Towers. Conflict is at its harshest. There's this big, and then third one, there's this, finds selfie, pulls the ring, and they go back. Anyways, I'm kind of a big fan of this whole trilogy theme. I think 3 is a good time for a movie, but I don't think that the Iron Man trilogy really built this up, in their works. I think that they actually tried in Iron Man 3, but I don't think they really tried in Iron Man 2. I think they were in Iron Man 2. It's just like, okay, we're making a sequel. Why don't we get him the sidekick? It'll be a lot of fun. Hey, yay. Iron Man 3, they kind of tried to show this thing, but so Iron Man 3 definitely gets, credit. Now, the villains. The villains I find were kind of really weird. I didn't get them. One, if they were so freaking hot, wouldn't they crush the ground? And how could he touch them? And two, they didn't understand how they regenerated and how then they could be killed. It seemed like they were invincible and that they might have a weakness, but then he somehow killed them. 3, they didn't explain why he did this, why he wanted the terrorist attacks. As far as I can tell, I like how it should have ended. Said it just seemed like The Incredibles. You should look at that video. It's incredibly funny because but The Incredibles is a kids movie, and that pulled off the theme of the old wannabe wanting to seek revenge for the person who slighted him better than Iron Man 3, in my opinion. Because in Incredibles, they didn't want to destroy the whole world and stuff. Or what was it again in Iron Man 3? They wanted to place the government, and I don't even know. They weren't very clear. But at least it was him just trying to gain fame for himself and kind of destroy superheroes, which he used to love. But this time, it wasn't necessarily quite against Iron Man. If he was just trying to take down Iron Man, that would be totally different. But he doesn't try just to take down Iron Man. He's against the whole country, which makes no sense. Because what did the country ever do to him? I'm sure there might be some explanation, but I haven't heard any. So he gets mad at Iron Man, and somehow he wants to take it out on the whole country. He doesn't even attack Iron Man in the beginning. It's just when Iron Man friends him. And then, yeah, that's what I didn't get. And the breathing fire thing, don't want to get into that. That was actually kind of funny. Which, there is a big, lot of times where you could put funny in, but when it goes into the actual plot, so that's one moment I don't really think I liked in the funniness. And also when he's flying through the air, it was and trying to catch the people, it was quite comical, and I laughed a lot at that point. But I couldn't take it seriously. And from that point, I couldn't really take the story seriously. In the beginning, I was really taking the story seriously. The whole feel of the terrorism and, them against America and stuff. But then And then it's just like they didn't really. I remember one thing from quote from the New York Times. They said Iron Man 3, um, unlike Dark Knight or something, or like other things, this might just be me. Said unlike Iron Man 3, which Iron Man 3 does not capture the whole terrorism theme, just rather exploits it. And I think that's what they were doing more. I agree with that. They were just saying, oh, here's a terrorist. Oh my god, you're supposed to feel a connection with this. And they didn't dig deeper. And I think that could have been good if they did dig deeper. Plot twist. It was good. Yeah, it was good. It got me. I expected there would be a plot twist. Ben Kingsley was incredibly good at that part. He really freaked me out in the beginning, and then he had me laughing towards the end. And I also think that having Pepper save him at the end definitely diminishes his whole struggle, his whole thing. And one thing in the trilogy, and they often do it for, a twist, is that the hero has to somehow show how much he's grown. So Luke, for example, it's him not killing his father and turning to the dark side, and him redeeming his father. For Batman, it's him, willing to sacrifice his life for his people, but rather, wanting to live on, only doing it for good. And Frodo from Lord of the Rings. Frodo has this change of becoming, less naive and being hardened by the world. And so Iron Man doesn't have this big change besides him blowing up all the suits, which, yeah, but I feel like he's a guy who can't be like, oh, he has to do it one extreme or the other. He can't be like, oh, I can spend some time with you, honey, and then as well as, sometimes be a superhero. A lot of other people pull that off. I mean, Superman's working part-time at Daily Planet, and then he's saving the world rapidly. I know he has super speed. It's just the point. But Iron Man, I don't know if he has to be in Avengers 2. If he's in Avengers 2, that was a lame ending that they ended his thing with Iron Man 3 with him giving up the suit. Sorry. I don't know. That was because what did that mean? So, it was a really entertaining movie. I really liked it. I didn't expect much more. But, I'm going to say this. Thor 2 looks really good. Thor the Dark World. I do not know how to pronounce THs. Let me put it that way. THOR, the Dark World. The Norse hero, sun god, who's in the Avengers and in Marvel. The Dark World looks really good. I'm glad he's teaming up with Loki in this one. It's going to be quite interesting. I've also heard that they're going to make the scenery, the settings in Asgard more real looking, which is going to be awesome. Chris Hemsworth compared it to Game of Thrones because the director worked for Game of Thrones. He directed an episode, so it's going to be quite cool. And I'm quite excited for that. I I'm quite excited for Ant-Man, that does not come out for another year. Then Captain America 2 Winter Soldier. Yeah, that's what it's called. Good. I want them to make a Hulk movie, but right now they're just have Hulk. I guess they feel like, oh, people know, the character of Hulk so well, we don't need him to have a movie. We just have to have him part of the Avengers. He just shows up and, we know him. So, that kind of annoys me. But I think Marvel's doing fine. I don't think they have to worry about any of this stuff. Everyone will love their movies. I love their movies. Either way. I just wished more out of Iron Man 3 because the first one was so good. So I think that ends my review. Okay, I am going to have 2 previews going up. Hobbit, Desolation of Smog. Actually, I think I might do 3. Now I think about it. But definitely Hobbit, Desolation of Smog. That's the big one. 300, Dawn of an Empire. I have a lot of things to say about that. Because I'm so excited about that because I love history and I love Spartans, and I guiltily liked the first 300 even though it was a bad movie. It was awesome, so psyched for that. And then Hunger Games, which I read. I like the Hunger Games. Not in a rush to do it. Hunger Games Catching Fire. I just liked the second one. So, this is going to be a very exciting season coming up for movies. A lot, I think. Yeah, so I'll keep you informed, and I'm so sorry. I've just had a loss for words today. I'll keep you informed. Thank you, my lords and ladies. May you have a bountiful season. May your crops grow. May you defend your lands. And may you live peacefully and have a long life. And many children. Many, many children. Many heirs. Thank you. Goodbye.